What is up, heroes? This is Midnight Zero, and welcome back to Let's Play 999 Blind. In the last episode, I did not have a lot of time to record and was kind of all over the place, and thank you for understanding my inexperience with the game and just trying to figure it out. But in this episode, we're going to be doing a little bit more of the same as we try to make our way through these puzzle rooms and have things occur a little bit differently. Again, I just from IRL needs need to record in advance, so I don't have all the questions I was asking in the previous episode answered. So I'm still working off the basis of I need to unlock specific events in these escape rooms in order to unlock that red lock at the end to get the other ending I'm aiming for on this timeline. So that being said, I don't anticipate much being different about the rest of this escape room, so I'm probably going to go about it the same way I did prior. And if anything new comes up that I think is new or is definitely new, I'll cut to that and obviously show you guys that. So we're literally a minute into the episode, but already getting ready to make that edit magic happen. The first time around, you guys mentioned in the comments that the borders of the different slots for the discs actually indicate the colors of the metal disc that's supposed to belong there. So this time around, it was significantly easier to do it because you just put them in the right ones and then rotate them as you'd anticipate, which is honestly quite funny. Makes me feel silly, but I did enjoy doing it the hard way, I guess, the first time around I tried it. Anyways, we've completed this particular escape room. So now we should be able to move to this one, and I'll just jump right into this, honestly. Ooh, cargo room or 9 photos in coffin? Huh? Alright, well, I didn't mean to choose this particular incident, but we can start off from here, I guess, and see if this is what's going to be different. I wouldn't be surprised if this were the part of the room that were different. So they walked slowly past there was a crate until they came to the coffin. They stopped and nodded to one another, and Junpei put his hand out in the lid of the coffin. Mommy! No one's entertained. Just kidding. He smirked heartily at his own joke. Really? Junpei grumbled and shook his head. Whatever, just open it. Okay. Alright, let's see if anything is different now. Junpei resisted the urge to remind Santa that he would have had it open a long time ago if Santa hadn't interrupted and quickly threw up the lid of the coffin. They peered inside. Contrary to what they'd expected, the inside of the coffin was quite large. It was mostly empty, but not completely so. Laying on the bottom was a rusty key, a small key, and next to the key was... da-da-da-da... a gun! Yeah, a revolver. Looks pretty old. I wonder if this is a replica. I'm trying to remember what they did last time. Junpei reached down slowly and cautiously picked up the revolver. In his hand, it felt heavy. This thing is... He checked the cylinder. There were 6 bullets. Are these real bullets? The barrel was rifled and nothing seemed to be blocking it. As Ace had said, the gun was a very old one. However, it appeared to have been well maintained. If it were a real gun, Junpei thought it was most likely functioning perfectly. Or it would most likely function perfectly. If it was real. If it were real. If this is real. Holding the gun made Junpei feel unpleasant. Carefully, he placed it back in the coffin. You're not gonna take it? Of course not. All something like this is going to do is cause more trouble. I feel bad because I can't guarantee that this is going to be different from the first time around for you guys, but I guess you're stuck with me anyways. You at least have the power of fast forwarding. It's a powerful weapon that gives one person a huge advantage. Something like that would be way too dangerous to have around. We're in enough danger already. Maybe Zero put this gun here, hoping something might happen. In other words, maybe put it here to make us fight each other. Ace doesn't want to be controlled by Zero. Alright, we got that figured out, but you aren't going to leave that key in there, are you? Of course not, we'll take that with us. So we picked up the rusty key and slid the top of the coffin back into place. Interesting. So... I guess we'll go back to the cargo room part, because that wasn't any different than the previous time. However, at least it's good to know that that part wasn't different, and, well, maybe it's only different if we do certain things in this part of the inspection. So, alright, well, I'm gonna investigate, do my best to solve this as quickly as I can, and I'll get back to you guys when things are inevitably different. So, hang in tight. I think this is different. So we were about to inspect the numbered boxes with the cards that we collect in the room, and Ace is surprised by Junpei knowing which cards go with which box, but just then Junpei heard a noise. He spun around just in time to see June collapse in front of the fence.
Murasaki!
Hey!
Daijoubu!
June, are you okay? Is this like the timeline where her fever doesn't get better? She did not respond. Junpei spun back around to face Ace.
すまん、紫が倒れたみたいだ。ちょっと様子を見てくる。
I'm sorry, I gotta go check on her.
他のことは頼んだぞ。
You finished the box thing, alright? Uh-oh, yeah, Junpei's gotta tend to his girl.
この9枚のカードを箱のスロットに差し込んでくれればそれでいい。
Just put the cards in the boxes.
頼んだぞ。
I'm counting on you. He shoved the cards in Ace's hands and ran off toward June.
大丈夫か？どうしたんだ？
Are you alright? What happened? Junpei called out to her as he ran.
おい、起きられるのか？
Can you stand? As he arrived, June was climbing to her feet with Santa's help.
すみません。大丈夫です。
I'm sorry, I'm
ちょ
fine.
っとつまずいただけですから。
I just tripped.
嘘つけ。
Don't give me that. Now's not the
本
time.
当ですって。そこに転がってた箱に足を取られて。
But it's true. I tripped over a
なんか
box.
見せてみろ。
Just let me see for a sec. Junpei put his palm on her forehead. Oh,
まだ熱があるじゃないか。
you're still warm. Her temperature was much the same as it had been the last time he'd checked. She wasn't hot, like she'd been before, but she was still warm. Her fever wasn't completely gone.
俺も倒れたところを見てたが、確かにつまずいただけだったみたいだぜ。
I saw her fall. I think she really did just trip on something, you know? Junpei would have been more willing to agree if June hadn't needed quite so much help
まあそ
standing
の
up.
程度で倒れるようじゃ、
Still, to fall
ま
down
だま
like
だ完全に回復したとは言えないんだろうけどな。
that. I still think she's probably still a little messed up. Phrasing. It's probably not the best, but June was doing her best to busy herself brushing dust off of her dress. Her smile looked a little embarrassed and her face was a bit flushed. But she did look a great deal better than she had. Still.
一刻も早くここを出て病院に行かないとな。
Alright, well, let's get out of here as fast as we can, so we can get you to a hospital.
病院なんて大げさですよ。
Oh, I don't think it's anything that
それを
serious.
飲んでたっぷり眠れば、あっという間にケロッと治っちゃうと思います。
I just need a little medicine and some sleep, and I'll be fine. I mean, I'm sure you'll be... It doesn't seem like it's anything too serious. You'll probably be fine. But to just say you need a little bit of medicine, like what?
薬か。
Medicine. Medicine, huh?
外部への連絡手段さえありゃ、一宮がすぐにでも手配してくれるんだろうが。
Well, if we could get in touch with anyone outside, I'll bet Ace could swing that for you easy.
一宮が？どうして？
Oh, something else that I just realized about the previous escape room, the coal area, or the steam room, was that we didn't have that encounter with Santa. We didn't get to hear about Santa's backstory. So that's definitely something different.
あ？知らないのか？あいつ製薬会社の社長なんだぜ。
Whoa. Huh? Don't you know? He's the president of a pharmaceutical company. Ace is the president of a
会社の
pharmaceutical
名前
company?
はクレイドル製薬。
Cradle Pharmaceutical is the name, I think. Whoa, it's all coming together, guys. It's all coming together. Seven was investigating the company that Ace is the president of that is suspected of kidnapping these people to test all these different things. One of the, I guess, test subjects was the daughter of Lotus. Santa was... No, Clover and Snake were previous participants in the Nonary games. We still don't know June and Junpei's connections to it all. And Santa, he talked about his sister, but I don't remember that revealing much of a connection to this place in
マ
particular.
ンドレインとかいう麻酔薬を主力商品にしてるらしい。
Their flagship product is an anesthetic drug called Soparil.
マンドレインマンドレインって
Soparil.
どこかで聞いたような。
I've heard of that before somewhere, an anesthetic. Junpei couldn't shake the feeling that he'd heard about Soparil before. Santa
マ
continued.
ンドレインってのはな、
It's so funny. The Japanese name is so different from what the English translation. I'm pretty sure like the Japanese they say like mandorain or something like that. But I'm pretty sure it's got to be some sort of pun or some combination of two words that's like a made up drug, and it probably has a similar mechanism with like the English words in this translation. I guess at least that's what I'm hoping for. It could just be something completely different, but
消
regardless.
気ガスと同じく常温で気体の麻酔薬だ。
It's an anesthetic that's a gas at room temperature, a lot like how nitrous oxide
導入
is.
までの時間は数秒と短く、ごく微量で効果を発揮するらしい。
It takes only a few seconds to spread, and even a small amount is very
そん
effective.
な便利なもんだから、世界各地の警察や軍で麻酔弾として採用されるようになったんだとか。
A bunch of countries quickly accepted it for widespread use within their police and military forces. I'm kind of curious though, if it's a gas at room temperature, why does it look like it's got an injectable
同
form?
情した犯人や敵兵、テロリストなどを無傷のまま制圧することができるからな。
It was an effective crowd suppressant and room clearer. Maybe that's just to draw it from the vial, and then, I don't know, to disperse it at
倫理
large.
的人道的観
Something
点
like
から見
that.
ても、極めて有用性の高い理想的な薬品ってやつだ。
It was practical, ethical, and the humane nature of it made it the ideal
開
drug.
発されたのは今から6、7年前で、ある植物の根から抽出された成分をもとに生成されたらしい。
So interesting. They made it as more of like a battle weapon than something to be used for, I don't know, anesthesia in like the operating room or something like that. It says a lot about the company, I guess. It's been around for about 6 years. They developed it from the extracts of several different
それが
roots.
公表されてから間もなく、たちまち世界各地の政府機関からオファーが殺到したそうだ。
It became popular almost as soon as it was made public, with many governments placing large orders. As soon as it was made public, does that mean it was FDA
か
approved
くし
or?
てマンドレインの需要は飛躍的に高まり、クレイドル製薬の株価は爆発的に高騰することになった。
Demand for Sobril skyrocketed, and of course that meant Cradle Pharmaceuticals stock did too.
お前なんでそんなこと知ってるんだよ。
Why do you know all this? Santa's gonna be like, oh, I work for them. Santa's information was interesting, but Junpei couldn't help but feel a little suspicious. Yeah, why would he know so much about it? Santa's reply was blunt and
アロ
simple.
スさんから直接聞いたんだよ。
I heard it from the old man himself.
チミやからいつ
From Ace? When?
大階段にあった4の扉、その先の二等船室を探索してた時だ。
By the number 4 door at the central staircase. When we were searching the second class
お
room.
前とニルスとセブンの3人は5の扉の方に入っていっただろ。
Remember how Snake 7 and you went to door
あの時
5?
だよ。
It was back then.
何気なく職業を聞いてみたら会社を経営してるって答えたから。
I asked him what he did for a living, and he said he ran his own
あと
company.
はその流れで今の話になって。
After that, we just started talking, and I guess it just came up, you know?
何か気になることでもあるんですか？
Are you worried about
いや
something?
別に
No, nothing. It's just that I have all this knowledge from all the other different ways I've played through this game thus far, and it's super suspicious. As he spoke, Junpei looked over toward Ace. Is he really struggling with this? You seem to be having difficulty with the 9
何やっ
boxes.
てんだあいつ。
What the heck is he doing? He turned back to June and Santa.
紫とにかく無理するんじゃないぞ。
June, don't push yourself, alright? Yes.
サンタ悪いが彼女を見ててやってくれ。
Santa, could you take care
俺
of
はちょ
her?
っと一宮の方に行ってくる。なんか手間取ってるみたいだからな。
I'll go check on Ace. Looks like he's having
分かっ
trouble.
た。
Sure. He gave them both a short nod, then turned and headed towards Ace. Interesting. Why is Ace having so much difficulty? What are you doing? Ace's back was to him as Junpei approached. The older man turned around to look at him. His face was pale and covered in
どう
sweat.
したんだ
What happened?
ああ、疲れのせいか。目がかすんでしまって、よく見えないんだよ。
Nothing. My vision has gotten rather blurry. I think perhaps of fatigue. I can't see very well at the moment. If you're really sweaty and pale, and now you're having visual symptoms, what can't you see well?
顔写真さ。
These pictures. Ace held the cards out to Junpei, splayed out in the shape of a fan.
認めたくはないが、あるいは老眼のせいかもしれん。
I don't care to admit it, but I may be developing presbyopia, which is just the typical visual problems people get with age.
年は取りたくないものだな。
Growing old is a difficult thing. He made the best attempt he could at a self-deprecating smile, but his face was flushed and his lips were pale and drawn. I'm not really buying the whole presbyopia thing. Like, it's obviously a very real possibility, but given that it hasn't come up before, and his general appearance at this moment as well, like, he could be, I guess, really nervous or embarrassed or something like that, and that's why he's all sweaty and and pale because he's not able to see and feels the pressure like he's supposed to. But I feel like that's not what's going on.
とにかくあとは君に任せるよ。
At any rate, I'll leave the rest to you.
私は疲れたので少し休ませてもらおう。
I'm feeling awfully tired, so if you don't mind, I'd like to rest for a bit. Interesting. So that's a couple times now that Ace has opted to have some sort of time to rest. Obviously, being able to rest is a nice thing, and everybody needs to rest. Sometimes people like taking naps, but Ace seems abnormally tired, especially for being in such a situation. He shoved the cards into Junpei's hands and walked quickly away. I'm also referring to the one time where he opted to stay back and rest as everyone else moved on. Junpei looked at him quizzically.
この程度のことでは。
How could simply looking at cards have tired him out? Junpei looked down at the cards in his hands. All of the pictures were quite clear and each person easily recognizable. Was Ace's vision truly so bad?
一夜は一体何に戸惑っていたんだ?
But if it wasn't, what had made him so uncomfortable? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about too. I don't know. That was when Junpei remembered what he'd heard from Lotus much earlier.
総合失認症。
Prosopagnosia.
と人間の顔を識別することができない症状のこと。
Well, put simply, it means a condition where the mind can't distinguish between human faces. Does Ace really have
あの
that?
人とこの人の顔を区別することができないの。
In other words, my face would look the same as Clover's, or even yours. Why would... It's very coincidental that Lotus would bring this up and then Ace would have this condition.
当然、
But...
顔を覚えることもできない。
So they can't remember faces, which is how most people recognize each other.
だから道でばったり知り合いに出会ってもその人が誰なのかわからないのよ。
That means that people with prosopagnosia have trouble recognizing even people they're close to.
まさかあいつは総合失認症なのか?
Maybe he's got prosopagnosia, which is like possible. That said, I feel like there's so many identifiers on these things that are different from just the faces on them that Ace would be able to tell, but I'm not going to question it if they're suggesting it this strongly. I'm wondering more so with what implications would this have on the Nonary game? Why is it important that we're learning that Ace has prosopagnosia? That's more so what I'm concerned with. It would mean that if he were only to see somebody's face, he wouldn't be able to distinguish them from anyone else, which means maybe a killer would feel safe doing so, or if they did happen to see the face of the killer at a certain point, they wouldn't actually be able to help, right? So, or maybe we should be skeptical of a particular story Ace tells at one point that includes the description of someone's face. I don't know. Junpei took another look at Ace. He sat at the base of the stairs, looking quite depressed.
まあだからなんだというわけでもないが。
Well, he looks depressed enough to have it. If he really did have prosopagnosia, there was no doubt it was a depressing and painful experience. Still, Junpei didn't feel like patting him on the shoulder and telling him everything would be alright would help that much. Still, Junpei felt perhaps it was best he keep Ace's condition to himself, at least for the time being. Oh well. Doing his best to clear his mind for the task at hand, he turned back toward the boxes. I'm wondering if... So, there was a point where we were theorizing about how Snake was killed, and it required 2 people. I think they decided it was 7... I thought they said it was 7 in Ace. Or was it 7 in Santa? I think they said it was 7 in Santa. But if Ace were involved, it means that should someone's face only be available to see, he could be manipulated into thinking that person was someone that they're not, because Ace would be too insecure to admit that he can't determine who that person is, and if he's told that a particular someone is someone else, he'll go along with that and act accordingly. Because he can't really question something that should be so obvious from just visualizing it, so long as he doesn't want to admit that he can't confirm that with his own eyes. Maybe that's where this is relevant, but regardless, back to the boxes.
9つの箱をやっつけてしまわないとな。
Time to solve the 9 boxes puzzle. 9 cards with pictures and 9 boxes. Junpei stared at them for a moment and then began. Ace card box 1. I think this will be the same. Need to do the same for the rest.
最後に
And finally, the 9th man in the box 9. And the box is open.
開いた。
They opened. He peered inside.
これは
What the? And each box was a single pin.
9本の
I think this is the same. They looked like sewing pins, but much thicker. And then we've got the rest of the dealio. So let's take a look at the flowchart now. We've unlocked this aspect. Given that the rest of the puzzle didn't change, I don't think we're actually going to be experiencing anything differently for the rest of this puzzle. So just in the interest of time, I think we can move on to here. And if you look at that, the red lock has unlocked. So honestly, let's go here and see what happens now. We've unlocked this situation, so I think we're actually gonna get some new timeline stuff. I'm actually really excited. So up we go. Just to make sure I've got this correct.
俺は
I think it should. Alright, there we go. Didn't take them long. Look, it's
セブンにヤシロじゃねえか。
Seven and Lotus. They didn't look happy.
困ったことになった。
We've got a problem.
四つ葉がいなくなっちゃったの。
Clover is gone. What? Junpei and his 3 companions looked at one another. He turned back to Seven and Lotus. What do you
どう
mean,
いうことだ
gone? So, we'll see how this is different, right? June was sick for longer in the previous one. We didn't hear that story from Santa, and we learned that Ace is the head of the pharmaceutical company that is, the suspect at the moment. How will learning that information change this situation? I'm curious. When?
どうして
Why?
君たちは四つ葉と一緒に1の扉
You
に入った
two
んだ
went into door 1 with Clover, didn't you? This is the same as usual. Responded as they best they could. We went through the door together, but Clover barely spoke to us. Did her own thing, locked herself into a room. By the time they got in,
この部屋は
she just said, I'll take care of it, and shut the door. And then they found the door open, but
声をかけても
we called for her, but she didn't answer, kicked down the door, but
中はもう
it was empty. Clover wasn't there, there was a door on the other wall, and it was open. We figured she opened the door and left by herself. We ran after her. Well, we didn't find her. Clover's gone. Junpei thought for a moment.
いつのことだ
俺たちがここに戻ってきたのはついさっきのことだ。
We got here just before you.
ちょうどタイミングよくあなたたちが現れて。
You certainly have excellent timing.
この大階段の周辺以外はまだどこも
You haven't searched anywhere other than near the staircase?
調べてね。
No, we haven't. Finally, Ace spoke. His voice had an edge of resolve and
よ
concern.
し、それじゃあ手分けして四つ葉を探すことにしよう。
Very well then, we'd best separate and look for
時
Clover.
間がない。早速だが捜索開始だ。
We haven't much time left. Let's begin. Did Ace say that last time? I don't remember. Yeah. There were quick nods all around and the 6 remaining players spread out. Junpei and June ran to the large hospital room together. Let's take a look at the flowchart. Okay, we haven't branched yet, so as quickly as they could, they searched around and under the beds and the corners. She's not here. No, she isn't. Alright, just in case we should go take a look in the shower room.
あそこには四つ葉の兄貴がいるもしかしたら会いに
Oh,
行った
that's
の
where
か
her
もしれない
brother is. She might have gone to see him. June bit her lip. She knew, as Junpei did, that there was only one thing to see in the shower room and it
と
wasn't
にかく見
pleasant.
るだけでも見ておこうさあ行くぞ
Well, we might as well check, right? Let's go. I don't think this is what he did prior. There was a screwdriver stuck between the door and the frame.
まだ入れるな
Good. We can still get in. Thanks,
セブ
Seven.
ンさんのおかげですね
We should thank Seven later. Absolutely. Assuming he's alive, right? Junpei and June slipped through the door, moved down the hallway, and stepped into the shower room. So I'm pretty sure this is different.
確か
No luck. Let's see here. No, it's still interesting.
そうみたいですね
Yeah, I don't think she's here. June's voice was faint, and she placed her hands over her mouth. Her face looked a little green. So this is like the June is sick route. Everybody's sick, everybody's pale, everybody's sweaty, everybody's got a fever route. Yeah, this is definitely different than last time. I'm excited. Ooh, what's gonna happen? I feel like it's not gonna turn out too well for June, unfortunately, but we'll see. We'll keep our eye on her. Her face looks a little green.
ひどい匂いだな
The smell is horrible. The stench in the room was almost unbearable. It had grown far more unpleasant since their last visit. Junpei had to eat lunch. He would have had difficulty retaining it. He wanted to leave the room as soon as possible, but he had to be sure. And the only way to be sure was to check the other side of the
念の
divider.
ため 奥の方も見てくる。
Let's check the back, just to be sure. Is the body, like, not going to be there? That would be intense. Jun offered no resistance and nodded weakly to Junpei as he headed around the divider. I'm really curious. He stopped at the corner and turned his
い
head.
ないよな。
She's not here. As he'd expected, Clover was nowhere to be seen. The only thing on the other side of the divider was a dead body lying in a reddish-brown puddle of dry and drying blood. Snake.
どこにいるんだよお前の妹は。
Just where did your sister go? we know what Clover can get up to on her own, so we definitely want to find her sooner than later. Before she finds us, rather. Junpei whispered to what once was Snake. He'd ask rhetorically, of course, as there was no way he'd get an answer. He gave a deep sigh.
本当にひどい売り様だな。
It's such a horrible way to
な
go.
んて原型をとどめてないし、左腕も骨が飛び出て。
The skull's shattered, the left arm's hideously twisted.
待てよ。
Huh? Wait, is this the timeline where we know that his arm should be prosthetic? The bright white of the ulna was clearly visible through the remains of skin and muscle. Bright white. Ulna.
骨。
Bones. The pieces fell into place. Junpei remembered something Clover had told him in the laboratory.
お兄ちゃんの左腕は普通の人とは違うの。
My brother's left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm. Man, gotta love it's almost becoming a trope now that I've played quite a few of these games that potentially the villain behind everything sets up their own death early on in the game, but it doesn't quite click and you only find out later on. I will just encounter that in a different game, and I won't say what game it is for the sake of just not spoiling, the surprise, but it's funny how frequent it's coming up.
事故の時に大怪我を負って。
The accident hurt him really bad.
そうだ。そうだよ。
Of course. Of
どうし
course.
て今までこんな大事なことに気づかなかったんだ。
Why didn't I realize it earlier? Clover had told Junpei that Snake's left arm was prosthetic. But the left arm of the corpse behind the divider was quite clearly a real human arm, or at least it had been, once. That meant the corpse...
俊平くん
Junpei-kun. Jun's unsure voice at Junpei's suddenly strange behavior drew his attention back to her.
待たせたな。行こ
Oh, sorry for making you wait. Let's go. He's not going to tell her immediately? Interesting. Is he going to tell everyone when they regroup, or... Let's see, just to be safe. No, we're still not even a different segment. Okay, but this segment itself, this little visual novel question block or whatever, is progressing differently than before. Junpei and Jun headed back toward the large hospital room. They stepped through the door and out of the shower room. Down the hallway they went, searching for Clover in every corner. They had reached the stairs when... Seven appeared, breathless and yelling.
順平紫一体どこに行ってたんだ
Junpei! Jun, where were you guys? Huh? He looked pale, and his face was drawn. Oh god, who's dead? Something terrible had happened. Junpei's breath caught his throat.
う。あったのか。
Did something happen? Seven drew a shaking hand across his face and gulped down a breath of air. Clover's dead? What? Clover's dead?
一等船室のバスルームで
I found her in the first class bathroom. Huh. Why? How? I guess we're gonna see for ourselves. There's Ace and there's Lotus. And, well, there's Santa. So everyone's here. We know there's another person running around, so it's not like I have to necessarily be suspicious of everyone there. But would Snake kill his own sister? Maybe. I mean, if he's Zero, he's probably got a couple screws loose, but... All sound ceased for Junpei. The world was an empty, muffled expanse. Then he began to hear his own breathing. Yikes. Jun's mouth moved, but he heard nothing. She tried once more, and then her energy was gone, and she collapsed against the wall. Great. He could have helped her, but he hadn't, and now she was dead. So he stood there, frozen in place.
四つ葉。
Clover. Clover. Oh man, this music. I love this music too. Why?
こんなことに。
Why did this happen? He forced his body to move. Each step felt like another nail pounded into his heart. Finally, he was in front of her. He knelt and placed 3 fingers against Clover's neck. No pulse, no breath. But she was still warm, and her eyes were closed peacefully. It would have been easy to think she was asleep. Easy, that is, were it not for the slowly expanding puddle of blood beneath her. So she was just recently killed. He traced its source to her back. A gash just beneath her shoulder blade. Was the weapon a knife, perhaps? If it was a knife, the killer had taken it when they left. Just one gash. Interesting. Surprised to think that she's already dead. When he closed his eyes, he saw Clover smile. Aww. Right in the kokoro. Clover. Her innocent smile. Hold up, Junpei. Did you forget about that other ending? Ain't so innocent when you mess with Oni-chan, right? Her innocent smile, her energy. He would never see her smile again. No way. He could have done something. He could have helped her. His stomach twisted itself into a sickening knot. Let's get out of here, June. Junpei lifted a limp June from the floor and carried her from the bathroom. Dang, everyone's going down. So clearly, this is different. Are you alright? It was a foolish question, and he knew it. Yes, I think so. Her voice was weak. That fever had gone down, but the emotional scars she'd received were not likely to recede as quickly. Junpei laid his hand on her shoulder, and they walked back to the bedroom. Hey. You should get some rest. Here, the bed. Lay down, but don't you dare leave her alone. Can you sit? Yes. She nodded once and stared at the floor. There were 4 others in the room. Ace, Lotus, Santa, and Seven. They all stared at nothing, their faces drawn and tired. After a while, they drifted into the bathroom to see Clover's corpse themselves. Once everyone was back in the bedroom, Junpei walked slowly to the center of it and looked around as the slumped figures gathered there. Who was the first to find the body? Me. Seven spoke from behind Junpei. He turned around. Seven's hand was up. Why'd you come to this room? To look for Clover. Why else? I mean, obviously, but... I found her body in the bathroom. As soon as I did, I ran outside. This is kind of like his testimony, his alibi to see if he's one of the people who could have done it. I got to the top of the stairs by the casino and yelled as loud as I could. Obviously... Obviously because... Wow, a lot of words. Because everyone split up, much like when Snake went missing, well, nobody can really be held accountable for things. Hey, guys, I found her, but it's bad. She's in the bathroom in the first classroom. Then I went back to the bathroom. Ace, Santa, and Lotus showed up real soon after that. But I guess you two hadn't heard me, or something, because you didn't show. So I took off down the stairs to look for you. After that, I mean, you know the rest, right? Junpei nodded and closed his eyes. There was one more thing he needed to ask. Seven, there's one more thing I'm worried about. What?
この部屋の探索を終えて脱出したとき、ドアの隙間に譜面のプレートを挟み込んでたよな。
You stuck one of those plates in between the door and the frame, right?
あれはなぜだ?
Why'd you do that?
だから言っただろ。ロックがかからないようにするためだよ。
Come on, didn't I tell you that already? I did it so that the door wouldn't
いつ
lock.
でもこの部屋に戻ってこれるように。
So we could come back to this room.
お前まさか俺のこと疑ってんのか?
Oh, you think I did it?
さあ、どうだろうな。
Well, I don't know. Oh man, I think the Japanese for this captures it just a little bit better, especially when you consider Junpei's tone. It's not... Seven says... Well, they translate as, oh, you think I did it? And that's a fine translation. But specifically, the words he uses like, oh, are you doubting me? Like, Yeah, that's literally, I would consider that a more literal translation. And then Junpei's like, well, I don't know. More of like a, not like a more firm, I don't know, but kind of like a, well, I don't know. Or like, could be, maybe.
返答次第によっちゃ、容疑者の最有力候補にもなりかねないぜ。
That kind of depends on what you say, doesn't it?
ったくよ。
For crying out loud. Seven sighed and shook his head.
仕方ねえ。
Follow me. There were two doors standing next to one another. He opened the one on the right.
そこは、クローゼットか。
A closet? Yeah. Seven stepped inside. He stood in front of one of the shelves that filled it and gestured toward a small box. The box was a small metal cube. The safe, no doubt. He looked at Junpei.
理由はこいつにある。この金庫だ。
This is the reason. This safe.
結局、部屋から脱出するまで、俺たちはこいつを開くことができなかった。
We couldn't open it when we were getting through this
だ
room.
がもしかしたら、中に何か重要なもんでも隠されてるかもしれねえだろう。
I figured there might be something pretty important
そう
in it.
思うと、気になって仕方がなくてな。
I couldn't stop thinking about it. For what it's worth, that's a good
そ
excuse.
したら、いつかどこかでこいつのダイヤル番号が判明することになるかもわからね
I figured eventually we might figure out what the numbers are for the
え。
safe.
そうなった時に、わざわざ表の5の扉を開くのは面倒だ。
And if we did, I didn't want to screw around with door 5
だ
again.
から、出口の方の扉に譜面のプレートを。あった。
So I put the plate in the exit door so we could get back in that way. You get it now? Yeah? Junpei nodded and looked at the safe. He grabbed the handle and shook it.
まあ、開かないよな。
Figured it wouldn't open. It was as locked as it had been when Seven found it. Huh? There was one change, however.
これは
This is what's different. Just underneath the safe was a pile of fine reddish brown powder. Just underneath the safe was a pile of fine reddish brown powder.
それ
Huh.
だ。
Rust. Interesting. Junpei stared at it, considering. Had somebody else accessed the safe in the midst of things and pulled out something that was rusty? Like a knife, potentially? Or is the bottom of the safe, is there an entrance to the safe from underneath it, inside that little closet thing?
ここにサビが落ちてるってことは、
If there's rust here, that
誰
means...
かが、この金庫の扉を開いたってことは。
Has someone opened the safe? Junpei left the closet. Seven followed him back to the bedroom. Interesting. It was cold and quiet. Man, there's so many little pieces that I just haven't quite 100% come together, but I'm dying to figure it out. No one spoke. They sat frozen in place by shock and grief and fatigue. Maybe it refers to the hatchet that was used to kill the captain in the captain's quarter? I don't know. The room felt tiny and oppressive, and the thick metallic smell of blood filled the room. Junpei turned and headed for the living room. Anything to get out of there.
何か手がかりはないのかよ。
Maybe there's another clue.
犯人を突き止めるための手がかりは。
Anything that might lead us to discover who stabbed Clover. As quickly as they could, they searched around and under the beds and in the corners. His eyes caught on the door. What's up with the door? The door that led to the passageway of door number 5.
確か、あのドアの向こうは、
Behind this
9番
door,
の男の死体がある場所だったか。
the ninth man's body is behind there.
念のため調べておくか。
Maybe I should have another look at it, just in case. It's a good point. I mean, I was just talking earlier about how Snake is potentially the person who set up their own death to look like they were dead and then go about killing everyone. The ninth man could have very well done the same. Nobody confirmed that he blew up. For all we know, that could be a fake body there, and he ended up going somewhere else, just like with Snake. Quietly, he pushed open the door. The smell hit him like a blow to the face.
なんだよこれ。
The
匂い
heck?
で頭がおかしくなりそうだ。
This smell is... His lungs contracted, unwilling to inhale such fetid air. Acid boiled up from the base of his stomach, churning what little food was in there into a violent froth. Nice. It was too much for him and he vomited. A thin stream of yellow water and bile spattered onto the floor. And bile. Yikes. There really shouldn't be bile in your vomit, guys. He wiped his mouth weakly and stared at the dead body. Chunks of torn flesh lay in an arc around the body. What remained of its intestines had slid out onto the floor. The pool of blood that framed it was half dry, but so thick that it had taken on texture not unlike that of an egg yolk prepared sunny side up. Nice comparison. On the floor next to the broken mess of the man's head lay his glasses cracked, spidering across the lenses. That's a cool description. Cracks spidering across the lenses. It's something that you intuitively understand what it looks like and describes it. I don't think I've ever heard it with that phrasing. The bloodstains near them had already dried like scabs on the floor. Wait. That was when he noticed. It's gone. Is it the bracelet?
これがなくなってる。
His bracelet. It's gone.
間違いなくメガネの脇に転がっていたはずなのに。
It was right next to the glasses. So somebody's taken the 9 bracelet, but now it was gone. And do you think maybe they intentionally went after Clover in this case? If so, the 9 and the 4 add up to 13. However, that makes things a little bit difficult because that would mean to have a digital root of 9, the third person would have to be Junpei, which is a little bit difficult to say the least. The other thing is, if this person is Snake, then they potentially have the number 15, which would mean the next person they'd go after would be Santa. The number 9 bracelet was gone.
なぜだどうして
But why? Had someone taken it? He was turning it over and over in his mind when he heard Seven's voice. Or is that the case? Did I just do that incorrectly? 9, 4, 13, digital root of 4. Junpei would be 5. Yeah, if it were Snake, they would have an extra 2, and then, yeah, they would need 3. So, okay, yeah, that's correct.
順平の野郎どこ行っちまったんだ
Huh? Where'd Junpei go? It had drifted out to him from the living room. Junpei walked slowly out of the hallway.
ああいたいた通路の方を調べてたのか
Oh, there you are. Were you looking for something in the hallway? Huh. Why is Seven checking up on him so much? Seven looked up as Junpei entered the room. Yeah.
何か見つかったか
Did you find something? He thought for a moment before he responded.
何も
No, nothing. Interesting. Junpei's doing that thing where he's taking it all into his own hands. He's not like sharing any of the information he's discovering with his teammates because he doubts them. Interesting. Not even June. Technically, it wasn't a lie. He hadn't found anything. In a way, in fact, that was the problem. Something he'd expected to find hadn't been there. The 9th man's
それより
bracelet.
もどうしたんだ
What's up? This might be an interesting time to search everyone and be like, what do you have in your pockets? It's like that SpongeBob scene where they're in the movie theater. It's like, reach into his pocket now and take what he's got. What is that? I think it's the...
ちょっと見てもらいたいものがあってな
I forget what the plot of that particular episode was. Regardless, well, I wanted you to take a look
見
at
てもらい
something.
たいもの
What is it? Seven led Junpei back to the bathroom.
四つ葉
Clover. As Clover's corpse came into view, he felt his heart flip and then fall to the bottom of his stomach. Huh? Something between a sigh and a groan escaped his lips.
だよ見てもらいたいものって
What was it you wanted to show me? His voice was hollow and empty.
もう一度改めて四つ葉の死体を調べてみたんだ
I searched Clover's body
無
again.
残なもんだった背中から一突きナイフか何かで刺されたらしい
A real shame. She was stabbed once in the back, probably by a knife or
そ
something.
うとこいつを見つけたな
And I found this. As he spoke, he moved around Clover's head, then knelt down and flipped open her right hand.
なんだ
What? She was holding a piece of paper.
中はまだ見てねえ現場保存は捜査の鉄則だからな
Haven't actually looked at it yet. Didn't want to disturb the crime scene, you know? Basic
と言い
stuff.
つつ実は一つだけ拝借させてもらったものもあったりするんだが
Well, I did borrow one thing. The bracelet? He wasn't sure what that meant, but it likely didn't matter. The paper was more important.
広げるぞ。
I'm opening it. Oh boy, what does it say? He picked it up and carefully opened it. Ooh, I'm excited to find out what's inside. But we're gonna find out in the next episode. Sorry guys, but this episode has already been going on for long enough, and actually I'm really eager to find out what's going on with Clover's death, and things are starting to come together. I can feel the mystery getting that much closer to being in my reach. Man, I'm really excited. I'm really digging it. And I hope you guys are just as eager as I am. Sorry for the cliffhanger, but also not sorry for the cliffhanger. It's just kind of how things work at this point. But anyways, see you guys in the next episode. But until that next episode, this is Moon Knight Zero, and this mission is complete.